So South Africa is going to take on India in the second T20I, and after losing the first one quite comprehensively, South Africa now have to turn to their next T20 and try to get some momentum going into the World Cup. Of course, we want to win every single game that we play, and that is the aim, of course, and that should be the focus for everybody. We'll be playing in a different ground, so it will be a whole different story with regards to this. I know you guys are not used to seeing me on a Saturday evening, but with games happening, we needed to do a preview show. So I'm bringing you one tonight as a little bonus video on a Saturday. But before we get going, before we get started, please subscribe to this channel, please, and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Especially if you're new on the channel, that's when you should subscribe, of course, because if you are a loyal follower of this channel, you should be subscribed, and that notification bell should be pressed already. We also need you guys to download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. You can become a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And this is to help us promote South African cricket, as well as advertise South African cricket, as well as grow South African cricket. This is how you guys get involved with this by becoming a patron today. Also, go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Very important that you guys do so, because I mean that's where we update you every single day or every single time that there is anything to report, or match reports, etc., and player moments and many other pieces of content, features and opinion pieces, etc. It's all on cricketfanaticsmag.com. So please go ahead and follow us there too, and visit that site regularly, because we need as many people to go to that site as possible. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. A very good evening. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with India versus South Africa in the T20I series. It's the second T20I, and it will take place again at 3:30 South African Standard Time, or 7 local time. And they are playing obviously at a new stadium, Guwahati. Oh my God, that's where they're going to be playing. And Basapara Cricket Stadium, that's exactly where they're going to be playing. I botched that completely, and I'm sorry, guys. I need to learn my pronunciations before I go live, actually. A lot of people will tell me that's unacceptable. But when I'm looking at the pitch conditions and what has been said so far, according to some of the players, as well as the India coach as well, it was very hot yesterday. So they are expecting, obviously, hectic conditions. It was like a maximum of 36 degrees. The forecast was for Sunday, apparently. So that's what they are looking towards for the match. But rain is also expected at after 7 p.m., which is kickoff time, of course, or start of the game. So that's with regards to that particular conditions. With regards to the last T20I at this venue, it was in 2020. It was rained off without a ball bowled. So we hope that doesn't happen again. The first okay, so cool. I'm just looking at the weather report. If this is actually going to affect the game hectically. So I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just having a look properly at the weather report now and the updates. But from what I've heard about this particular wicket as well, and from what Dravid has obviously suggested about this pitch, he said that it's a good wicket, and Wayne Parnell also hinted towards that. But he hadn't looked too close at it before the press conference. But from what they saw, it looks about 22 yards. And it's looking slightly brown as well from what he could see. So, but the pitch, we're not really sure. We're gonna have to rock up on the morning and decide which conditions suit us best, if the conditions suit us at all, and how we're going to know how to approach our batting, because that is completely poor and putrid at the moment. From ESPN Cricket Post preview, I can read you guys a couple of stats here that they've put together. Um, South Africa 1.25 are the only team to have managed a positive win-loss ratio in T20Is against India in India, which is quite remarkable. David Miller is on 1,903 runs and he's 32 runs to go past JP Duminy and become South Africa's most prolific run getter in T20Is. Quinton de Kock is on 1895, isn't far behind either. Sky Yadav is 24 runs short from 1,000 runs in T20Is. And if he gets there in Guwahati, he will become the third fastest Indian to the mark in 31 innings. Virat Kohli was 27 and KL Rahul 29 are the quickest Indians to 1,000 runs. So that's what we have over there. And then we have obviously some quotes as well from what Dwayne Parnell had to say in his press conference. He's obviously saying that we shouldn't actually he said we shouldn't actually be too worried about that particular performance. They shouldn't let it bother them. They shouldn't panic, and they should just go out there and play their natural game, of course, and they'll get the win. And we can expect any team to say that, of course. But with tomorrow's game, I'm a little bit worried because, of course, the rain uh, is predicted to come around there. Lawrence said in the comments now it's 40 to 60% chance of rain during the game tomorrow, so it's going to be a problem for South Africa, and there might not be a result. And this is another practice match that will be rained on the drain, and then for us as a unit over here, it's pretty crappy for us for our preparations for the World Cup. We obviously want to be able to play our best cricket at the World Cup and get the best preparations. But with our openers in such terrible form, I mean, I saw a graphic earlier on today about Quinton de Kock's form in the last 7 innings that he's played. He averages, I think it is, let me just check here. He averages 6.57 at a strike rate of 86.79 with a high score of 15, 46 runs in 7 innings. So it's crazy. Abid says for the last 30 days, no rain in Guwahati. Yes, and that was what Mr. Dravid said as well. He said there's no rain. It was sunny, 36 degrees the whole week, and very hot, but there is predicted rain for tomorrow. So could it possibly be an opportunity to play 2 spinners tomorrow again, or should we go with the 2 all-rounders? Let's see what we do. I mean, I wanted to see our all-rounders get tested as best as possible so that they can prepare themselves as best as possible for the actual World Cup. That's what I would like to see, of course. And that's why I would just play our best 11 right through. That's what I would have done, me personally, but I'm not a coach, so of course that's not going to happen. But generally speaking, I think that South Africa should be able to find a way to get get a win under the belt, get some runs on the board, especially the top 3. I'm a little bit worried about our 2 openers, and it is a bit of a problem. But for me personally, I would like to see us go with a team that will play in the World Cup, our best 11, and let them face that difficult spin conditions as well. It might teach them something, So I would like to play Dwayne Pretorius and Wayne Parnell, both players, because Wayne should be batting at 8, not 7, I feel personally. And then we can keep it together, everything else. So we've got with us right now, we've got Aditya all the way from... Aditya, you want to reveal it to the people?
Greetings from the UK, my friends. How are you doing?
Yeah. How's it been? Have you settled in over there?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of days, my friend. It's new country and new way of life here, so just adapting. It's also quite a
Mm-hmm.
journey to get from India to Leeds. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Aditya, I'm going to give you the floor. I want you to uncover what you've seen. Just don't stop, just go for it. I want you to uncover what happened in that first T20I, what you saw
Yeah.
there, because we never got a chance to speak about that. And then I also want you to look ahead, of course, at this next match tomorrow. There was a couple of things that we were told um, recently by Dravid, of course, about the weather tomorrow, that it might rain. It's very hot there. But we also want to know some information about the ground, what it's going to be like. Two spinners, two seaming all rounders. What is the choices over there? And also, I want to know from you, what does South Africa have to do with selection? Um, and and then you can give me also. We can talk about India after you're done with all of that.
Well, they're playing in Guwahati, so that has um, that's not a that's not the sort of ground that we play a lot of games in on. Because it's not like your Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai. They're sort of your Bangalore. They're their main grounds. They host most games, but Guwahati is a pretty good ground, and I believe the last time we played there, it can be quite a run fest, if I'm not mistaken. Um, T20, I think there was a T20 game between the West Indies and India. It was played in Guwahati a while ago. It's been a good ground. I think there's it won't be as challenging as Trivandrum, I suppose. But now let's see. Um, with respect to selection, I don't know about selection, although I think the right word is application. No matter what you do with selection, if you're representing, you're wearing that green and gold shirt, then you're probably one of the best in South Africa. And when if that's the case, then you gotta, I guess, probably apply yourself a little bit better, right? Because 9 for 5 does not read as a very good score, and when you're relying on your top five, top six batters to
Yeah,
do the job for you, because they're the best T20 batters in your team, and you have Keshav Maharaj come in and score 41, being your top scorer, then I'd say that you know s- there needs to be a little bit of work there. Um, so yeah, that's my view of the game. But having said that, look, it's I don't know if South Africa would probably get better with as they play on. Uh, but it is important to apply, because if you lose your you lose your ball to some serious swing, then perhaps what your um, you need to reassess what your ideal total will be on that wicket. Is it going to rain? I don't know. It's maybe it can. Uh, Maybe it can, but either way, it's important to sort of. I think South Africa should probably look for the opportunity to play. They should want to play,
mm,
the 40 overs, because that's the only way that they're going to get better. After what happened in that first
mm,
T20, and look, I think the closer South Africa gets to that World Cup, you have to sort of ensure that 9 for 5 sorts of performances don't happen, because the World Cup is a confidence game, and you can't you can't go into a tournament of that nature with low confidence.
yeah. And for me, talking about confidence, for me it would be all about giving our best players the most amount of confidence as possible going into the World Cup. Now, I think that by playing your best team, that's exactly what you'll be doing. So for me, I want to, and in Australia, we probably will be playing two all rounders, in my opinion. The seaming all rounders I'm talking about, because obviously Maharaj, fully fledged all rounder, of course, as we all hear. Doing really well with the bat was what I'm trying to say. And what we want over here is to obviously get some momentum going. I think that this ground, it seems like, I mean, you spoke about 22 yards, Wayne Parnell. It seems not too big. necessarily. But what's nice about that is also it will test our all rounders with regards to their skill set. Now, Wayne Parnell and Dwayne Pretorius are the type of bowlers that tend to operate Yorkers, but different styles of Yorkers. One the wider Yorker, and the other one swinging in Yorker most of the time. So I think those two skills are going to be very important in Australia. And I think this ground will probably be perfect for that type of bowling too. So I think rather test them in difficult conditions and let them get some confidence going. I mean, I'm sure Wayne Parnell took some amazing confidence from his bowling performance in the first T20. Yeah, he bowled pretty decently and he got some runs under his some game time under his belt, which was much needed. So for me personally, I would like to see that the 7 and 8 of Pretorius and Parnell. Let's see if they do that. Um, I mean, I do think that maybe this ground might spin a little bit. So I wouldn't take the risk of not having a spinner at all on this ground because obviously people are going to go big, and we need to test our spinners as well. Like Shamsi needs to be. I want Shamsi to be put under pressure because I think that he needs that to keep him alert going into the World Cup. I don't want him to take the foot off the pedal. I'm not saying he would, but I would rather prefer it if he goes into this, game test playing every single game. But what is your thoughts on that, Aditya, and what can we expect from your Indian side tomorrow?
Look, I think with respect to Shamsi, he should be put under pressure. You're right, because he does need to be sort of battle hardened. Come the World Cup, he's South Africa's sort of most impactful bowler. Ultimately, as much as we talk about the power play and the depth, it's equally important to sort of put on a performance in the middle overs. And I think Shamsi wins South Africa a lot of games, with his performances there. So definitely, I think the more, it's a bit like, how we talk about Rashid Khan, right? Like there are times when you feel like Rashid Khan is almost invincible. Everyone's just looking to play him out. But then there are a couple of games where he gets totally smacked, and that's typically one or two games in a season, and then he sort of comes back stronger. So I feel like something similar would be helpful for Shamsi as well. Um, and we're talking the Indian team. So I think the Indian team, it'd be interesting because they brought in Siraj for Bumrah.
Mm,
Bumrah, unfortunately was injured again, and um, that's definitely not ideal for India because he's one of our main T20 bowlers, and Mohammad Siraj has been brought in. So let's see how he goes because Siraj in T20 cricket has not been the bowler we know um, we know him to be. Particularly in those early overs, the power play. But with him coming back after quite a break in T20 cricket, let's see how he goes. With respect to the rest of the team, I think the India's focus really needs to be on ensuring that your backup players are able to put in the sort of performances that your first choice players can put in. To me, I think
mm,
that's priority. If Jasprit Bumrah is not available because of an injury, there's nothing you can do. You
yeah,
have to make
you
sure
need fit players. Yeah,
that his
yeah.
backup players can perform.
Yeah. I've been impressed with Harshit Patel. I mean, I've been impressed with him quite some time now. You remember, I still spoke to you, I think last year, I think it was when we spoke about it. And I said, isn't it possible for him to maybe get into that India side? And now he's showing what his capabilities are as well with regards to his control that he's showing with the ball. Um, out of the new bowlers, which ones have impressed you the most, would you say, in that first match?
I think Deepak Chahar, that man has got serious talent, and one of the other reasons I really like him is that he's got a big heart. Like he's willing to get hit, but he does want to give himself that opportunity to produce swing.
Mm,
And excuse me.
bless you.
Live show him sneezing. How embarrassing! But it is cold, guys. It is cold out here. It's freezing in this country. Uh, but
Especially
look
that
at
side of the world.
yeah. Look, Deepak Chahar is a fantastic prospect for India. I really like him. And on a wicket that has even a tinge of grass, you use him the way MS Dhoni uses him for the Chennai Super Kings, and this man can produce magic. Uh, because he can really put you under the pump from ball one with his swing, and you simply won't be able to score. And if you have the other side bowl equally well with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, perhaps, then
Mm,
I think we can really restrict a lot of teams in the power play. What I also like about Deepak Chahar is that he's a phenomenal batsman, lower end, and he's capable of smacking them real big. I think he'll win India a couple of games with his bat.
mhm. Okay, the big topic now of discussion is South Africa's top order. What are we doing, Aditya? Let's come together with a conclusion here. Um, the most out of form batter out of the three openers is Quinton de Kock. In the last 7 innings, he averages six, 43 runs in that 7 innings. Um, Temba Bavuma's been terribly out of form and also not playing. He doesn't have games under his belt. But then you have an informed Riza Hendricks. So, in my opinion, it should be Riza with one of the other two. What is your thoughts on the openers and also the way we should approach playing your swing up front? We've struggled with movement up front in all formats, South Africa, and we having that problem again. So what's your take on that?
With respect to the players being out of form, Temba and Quinton de Kock has been inconsistent for a period of time. And honestly, the thing is, as much as we talk about Quinton's instinct being his biggest strength, it's also turning out to be his biggest weakness, because what is happening is that opposition teams are studying him far
Mhm.
quicker than he is able to adapt.
Yeah,
We
and
just
it's
can't keep waiting for these good days to come around.
yeah, and it's almost like we want him to be this attacking batter, quick batsman. But in his last 7 innings, his strike rate is 86. It's less than Pavuma,
Yeah.
and that's a big problem because we expected to have Quinny striking at 130, 140, maybe even higher than that. And then Pavuma maybe being the one that like kind of gets Quinton de Kock going. But at the moment, they're both terribly out of form. So I don't know. Do you continue with them because that's your opening pair, or do you give Riza Hendricks a chance? Because I mean, Riza Hendricks created history in the last inning in the last series.
Yeah. It's look, these are massive calls to make, right? Because Themba Bavuma is your captain, and Boucher backs Themba Bavuma like none of us ever know. So that's so so that's I think that's a given that he's going to play, and fair enough, he's the captain. Quentin de Kock, it's a tricky situation. How do you drop one of your most experienced players, irrespective of what his record is? How do you drop an ICC tournament? Sorry, how do you drop one of your most experienced players, and he's sort of the fulcrum of that top four? So that's a big call, and it's put the selectors and the team management into a complicated situation, right? Because you do have Riza, who's in form, who's coming off, as you said, history that he's created with the last series. And you also have to take into account that if your top order fails consistently, it puts far too much pressure on a middle order that does not have Rassi van der Dussen. So it's I yeah, I wouldn't be envious of Mark Barger's position at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't at all. It's going to be a tough game, I think. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the boys, a lot of pressure on all of us as Proteas fans as well. We need to get a strong power play. We need to get that rust off that top order because Our number 3 and 4 can't keep on 5 and 6 can't keep on saving us in every single game. We're gonna get situations where we need our players to just start off well and build partnerships at the top of the order. So let's see what happens in the game, guys. That's the show for you tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's the first. We don't do many on a Saturday, but we thought we'll give you a little preview ahead of the game. Please leave your comments in the comment section below after this video is done. Not in the live chat only, but also in the comment section below. I would like to hear what your thoughts are heading into the match, your lineups, what you think should happen, etc. And you know that you need to do a couple of things for us. Of course, you need to download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in your description. You can also become a patron, help us grow South African cricket and promote South African cricket by becoming a patron today. You can also go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates, please. Very important that you do so too. That's how we do features there, etc. And we're going to be covering a lot of cricket, guys. The summer's going to be insane. I don't know how we're going to manage everything, but we're going to try our best to do everything that we can because there's a lot happening all at once. But guys, thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another review show after at the conclusion of the game. Take care and peace out, guys.